Morning, and thank you for attending our webinar today. We appreciate you taking time from your busy schedule to be with us. My name is Shanna Clark, and I am the Vice President of Sales and Operations with Medicare Advantage Specialist and MAS Insurance Services. We've got a great session planned for you today. We are excited to introduce you to GTL's Cancer, Heart Attack, and Stroke product presented by special guest Dimitri Simos. He is the Regional Sales Manager of GTL. So if you're attending a webinar for the first time today, I would like to just take a moment and introduce you to MAS. We are a nationally recognized award-winning field marketing organization and a leader in the insurance brokerage industry. Our office is located in beautiful Hoover, Alabama, just outside of Birmingham. Medicare Advantage Specialist is a full-service insurance marketing organization dedicated to helping independent insurance agents leverage time, make more money, and put business in a position of distinction. We offer the industry's most complete IMO experience. We support every facet of an agent's business, from our comprehensive senior product portfolio to the tools that we offer, the services, and marketing programs. So if you're looking for more than a contract, if you're looking for a long-term home for your business and a partner to help take it to the next level, then look no further than MAS. We're proud of the superior service, support, and training that we provide to agents across the country who work with us. We take great pride in our relationships with our agents and our carrier partners. Our staff provides marketing strategies and assistance, creating numerous opportunities for our agents through lead programs, our Turning 65 workshop platform, the Agency Builder program. We have a Fast Start incentive, and we have a few other incentive programs as well. Our MAS marketing managers are eager to work with producers to help you grow your business. We can provide a market analysis of products available in your area to assist you in developing a strategic marketing plan for your business. We're always up to date on the latest products, carriers, lead programs, and services as they become available. And of course, we're always available to provide both back office and field support, making it easier for you to concentrate on sales growth. Our goal is to help you grow your business. At MAS, our specialty is the senior market. Our carrier portfolio is supported by Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, Final Expense, Whole Life, Term Life, Universal Life, Critical Illness, Cancer, Short-Term Home Health Care, Dental Vision, and Annuity products. So I'm going to take just a moment just to share with you just a glimpse of some of the partners that we work with in the industry. So here's a look at the Medicare Supplement plans that we offer. Medicare Advantage, Final Expense, Supplemental Health, Prescription Drug Plans, and Dental Vision and Hearing. All right, so now let's talk about the MAS Rewards Program. One of our primary focuses is to help equip our agents with the tools they need to be successful. That's why we now offer exclusively to MAS partners access to online and mobile quoting tools. The convenience helps, it makes the selling process easier. We have partnered with CSG Actuarial, and we have now put access to this program on our website so that agents will have access. So if you're currently working with us, if you've got some contracts in place, then we will create a login for you, and then you would have access to these tools to help you out in the field for your quoting needs. So we're really excited to offer this to our agents. Our agents have enjoyed tremendous success with our lead and incentive programs. We offer a lead program to agents who are new to MAS, as well as agents who are consistently writing business through our organization. If you'd like more information, please contact one of our marketing team members today. In addition to working with independent agencies, we also partner with some of our agencies that work with us. So there's some co-op opportunities to share and lead programs for your downline agents as well. Our Fast Start program has been a success as well. Who doesn't love to get money in the mail just for writing your first piece of business? And I'm not talking about commission dollars. These are funds that are coming directly to you from MAS. So if you write your first piece of business, then we will happily provide you with a $25 Visa gift card for your first app. And then if you write 4 more pieces of business in your first month of contracting, then there's another $75 Visa gift card that we can share with you. Now, please note that the Fast Start incentive only applies to the products that are not Medicare Advantage for compliance purposes. We all know that growing your business is only going to happen if you develop a winning strategy, consistently putting the work in and utilizing smart tools and platforms that make it easier for you to deliver expertise to your clients. So that's why we developed a Turning 65 workshop platform. We assist our agents in identifying target markets for the Turning 65 population. And we've created a process that is so simple for agents to follow that we now have many agents hosting weekly and monthly meetings, creating a tremendous stream of lead generation. So I would encourage you, if this is something that you're interested in, then please talk to one of our team members today, and we can share more information about this exciting platform and show you how to get started. We also offer an agency builder program. We've worked with agents who have come on board with us and been with us for a number of years, and then they get to the point where they decide that they would like to build a team themselves. So the agency builder program, it does just that. This is where we can help an agent build an agency. So if you're looking at building a hierarchy, we do have access to a national database of licensed life and health agents. We can also target other agencies, such as P&C agencies. We found that these agents are interested in learning more about the boomer population. Many of them have a client base that is aging in to Medicare, and they're finding that they're losing lots of opportunity in continuing to service that client base. So we found that they have a more dedicated interest in learning more about the Medicare side of the business so that they can maintain that client base. So if that's something that you would be interested in, so we can help you with that as well. All right, so here's just a few reasons why we feel like MAS could be a good fit for you, and if you've not already partnered with us. We're here to serve you. We understand that our long-term success will define itself based on your success as an agent or as a carrier. Medicare Advantage Specialist is committed to exceeding our clients' expectations in every interaction and helping you achieve that same level of service with your customers. Agent support is our primary goal. We provide every tool that we can to assist you in your efforts to identify, inform, close, and follow your sales process. In more practical terms, our marketing team works arm in arm with you to deliver print media, internet, direct mail, and other marketing tools, keeping your pipeline moving. We have one of the most experienced support teams in our industry. All right, so before we get started with today's presentation, I do want to introduce you to the webinar control panel that's on the right-hand side of your screen. There's a chat toolbar which will allow you to ask questions, and we will monitor those throughout the presentation, and then we can share those with the group at the end of the webinar. So let's get started. Today we are joined by Dimitri Simos of GTL, Guarantee Trust Life. Not only is Dimitri a friend and a colleague to MAS, but he's been a tremendous support to our organization over the years, assisting us with additional portfolio products. So today we're really excited about the cancer, heart attack, and stroke product. And I'm going to let Dimitri share with you his expertise. And so Dimitri, with that being said, I'm going to hand over the controls to you and let you get started.
Awesome. Thank you, Shanna. You know what, guys? Shanna's absolutely right. MAS is a great organization to work with. So if you're not working with them currently, this would be a great opportunity to definitely be able to, you know, get together with them and, you know, talk to them and see how they can help you grow your business. And, you know, really in reality, that's really what all of our you know, thing is to do, is that we're trying to help grow your business, because you know, we want, you know, you don't want you to just be, you know, doing the same thing over and over again. You want to grow and expand and, you know, become more to your clients than, you know, just a one-trick pony per se. So with that being said, what we're going to talk about today is going to be our cancer, heart attack, stroke plan that we developed here at GTL. And one of the things that what we're going to cover today is the actual who is GTL, and then we're going to also talk about, you know, why sell cancer, heart attack, and stroke insurance. We'll talk about some cross-selling tips that are going to be available that we've learned over the years, you know, from agents that are out in the field doing this, and they're very successful at cross-selling in general. And then obviously some important processing information, because you know, you can do all the writing you want, but we got to get it processed and get your policy mailed to your clients, and, you know, get your commissions paid. So that's also an important feature of what we're going to talk about today too also. So, but let's get started here with where is our new cancer, heart attack, stroke plan available? Because I think that's, you know, it's something that's pretty important in itself. There is that the states that you see that are purple in color, that's where our new product is going to be available. For those of you that are familiar with GTL and familiar with our cancer, heart attack, CHS Protection Plus plan, those are going to be the states that are in green. We are working with the DOIs, you know, to try to get the new CHS program available in those states that are green, and also the states that are in that tannish color scenario, like Minnesota, Georgia, Maryland, and such. We're looking to take care of. I'm sorry, Maryland actually has the new cancer plan available there. But the states that are tan, you know, we're definitely working with the DOIs to try to get those states converted over to our new cancer, heart attack, stroke program. One quick thing that I like to point out when we're talking about, you know, states and all that kind of stuff is that if you have a client that, you know, that lives in Alabama, and they purchase a cancer, heart attack, stroke plan, and then they happen to move to California or New York or Florida or somewhere where it may not be available at all, right? Well, the program is going to follow them along wherever they move to. So if they get diagnosed with cancer and they're in California or New York, the policy will still pay out to them because they purchased the policy when they were in Alabama. So there's nothing changes for that client. So it's a big positive when you're talking about individual products, is that yes, you bought it in your current state today, but no matter where you live in the future, you're going to be able to get, in terms of from the United States perspective, you'll be able to get a benefit from this program. So I think it's important, an important distinction to make about when you're offering individual plans to your clients. But let's get started here and talk a little bit about GTL. GTL, this is our actual home office, which is located in Glenview, Illinois. Glenview, Illinois is just north of Chicago. We were founded in 1936 by a gentleman named Richard S. Holson, and today we're being led by the third generation of Holsons. And we are a mutual insurance company, and we're probably, I'd say, a mid-sized company is a good way to put us. About 300 employees. We do everything regarding our business here at the Glenview office. We don't have any other offices that, you know, all over the place. So yeah, everything is all centralized. And one of the great things of working with MAS and you know, is that we have a great relationship with them. So anything that goes on, or, you know, anything that may be needed, give a call to MAS. We'll talk, and we can see how we can get that taken care of for you. But licensed in 49 states. The only state we don't do business in whatsoever is in New York, and we are definitely very proud of the over 80 years of being in business as a family-run business. From a client's perspective, these are probably the three things that the clients are going to probably want to know about at the end of the day is that, yes, the GTL has been in business for over 80 years. Their AM Best rating is considered to be in the top tier of the ratings that they have. So it is an actual B++. And we also have zero debt on our books, which from a client's perspective means that we have zero debt on the books. That means we're going to have some cash on hand to be able to take care of any claims that that may need to be taken care of for your client. So that's important. Also, from a GTL perspective, is that we don't just do cancer, heart attack, stroke. We do a number of different products. I know many of you might be familiar with GTL through our Advantage Plus hospital indemnity program. Very popular over the last 11 years. Great for those MA clients. We have a short-term nursing home product. We have a critical illness plan. We have Medicare supplement in select states. We have a short-term home health care product. We have obviously the cancer, heart attack, stroke we're talking about today. We have a critical cash, which is a critical illness product, which is a very unique product. So if you're looking for unique products, take a look at that. And also an accident plan. Something that I know we don't talk a lot about, but we do when I do webinars, is that we do make a difference. You, the agent, are doing a great job out there for your clients, because I can tell you since January 1st of 2015, through June 1st of 2016, we've paid over $61 million in claims between a cancer claim and a hospital indemnity. So in that year and a half period, $61 million have been paid out for folks to be able to help take care of the things that we've told them that we would help them take care of. So I think it's a pretty big story to tell, and it's something you feel free to share with your clients and let them know that, yes, you know what, you're going to get this. We're going to talk to you about these plans, but they do actually pay out also. I know clients are always a little skeptical, but so here's a way that you can kind of let them know that they don't need to be so skeptical. Now let's talk a little bit on the cancer, heart attack, stroke side of it here, since this is while we're here. And so this is our newest product offering from a cancer, heart attack, stroke perspective. We've been in the cancer market for over 45 years. In some shape or form, we've had a product from the early 70s. The whole idea about cancer, heart attack, stroke is that we're trying to have this to be an affordable lump sum option for your clients to be able to take care of some concerns that they would have. The benefits they're based on the occurrence of a covered condition. So as long as they get a diagnosis, that's something that they'll be able to get a benefit for. And then with this plan here that we're talking about today, there's a unique and innovative riders that you aren't going to find in any lump sum cancer plans that you're going to be able to have access to and be able to show to your clients to create a more robust plan. So from an agent's perspective, wanting to grow income, I don't think has ever changed. I don't think offering complete coverage hasn't changed. From all the agents I speak to, I think that's really what they really try to do. But one things that do change in our business, is selling rules. Products obviously are going to change, like we're talking about today's a new product. Legislative things that we have to do as agents on how we do business that change. So I know a lot of times we always kind of have we mumble under our breath, oh my God, this or that. But you know what? At the end of the day, I can tell you change is good. And over the last 13 years that I've been here with GTL, we've had a number of changes going on in our industry, with government, forced changes, just in general type changes going on. We found that change is good. Anytime there's been change, it's always been a good opportunity for you, the agent, to be able to, have more contact with your clients. And, because at the end of the day, that's really what we're looking to try to do as agents is, have more contact with our clients and give them, have that being meaningful contact. When it comes to talking about supplemental health, this could be cancer, it could be hospital indemnity, whatever the case may be for you. In general, though, what we're looking to try to take care of is the out-of-pocket expenses. We're trying to take care of that financial stress, and we'll talk about financial stress a lot when we're talking about cancer, heart attack, stroke, and then the uncertainties. But from your perspective as an agent, by talking about supplemental health, you're talking about you're going to increase your commissions, you're going to increase your referrals because you're going to end up having happier clients because of these additional conversations you have, and you're also going to improve your retention, which is really, really important because at the end of the day, we all got in the business for one reason. We like our renewals. So retention is definitely a key here. So what creates a cancer, heart attack, stroke market? It's any number of things. You know what? Cancer, heart attack, stroke market, you can kind of break it up in different segments, and you can say, okay, well, let's see if I can marry this up with, does my client have out-of-pocket exposure with their health insurance plan? Yes, maybe no, depending. We never know, though. We've got to ask those questions to find out. Family history of cancer, heart attack, stroke with your particular clients, or the person you might have just met. You could have asked a question. Hey, as the conversation goes along, hey, do you know anybody that's been touched by cancer? Because if they do, they'll understand what goes on when someone's out battling cancer. Clients that had cancer and have been in remission for over 5 years. So those folks, we can still help them too because they know it could happen. And probably one of my probably most favorite markets to really talk to is the really small business owners. I think they're the most underserved market out there because a small business owner, they probably have the most need for a cancer, heart attack, stroke type of program because everything is riding upon them to be working, generating income, maybe paying that 1 or 2 employees that they have, so they've got those folks depending on them. So what the question at the end of the day is, what happens if a small business owner gets diagnosed with cancer or has a heart attack or stroke? Because you can, with our cancer plan that we're talking about today, we call it cancer plan. I think it's just a generic term that we all use, but it is a cancer, heart attack, stroke policy, and there's standalone components for both those two conditions. So the small business owner, they don't, they get diagnosed with cancer, they have a heart attack or stroke, they're not going to be working probably. And the whole idea about when you do have cancer, or you have a heart attack or stroke, is to minimize the stress or the worry, And so how do you do that? Because if they have to be earning to get paid to keep their family going and the other families depend upon them, they're going to be stressing. So, they're going to try to get in there and not help themselves feel better. So by having a cancer, heart attack, stroke plan and offering them to the small business owner, you're going to help them get healthier so that they can come back with more energy and more fire to be able to keep on doing what they do best. When you look at the numbers about small business owners, there's over 3.5 million businesses with 0 to 4 employees. How many people do you know in your market or in your group of friends that are small business owners that you can just walk up and have a conversation? Hey, Tommy, what's going to happen if you get diagnosed with cancer or have a heart attack or stroke? It's a legitimate question, and a couple of friends can have that conversation very easily. There are 5.2 million businesses with under 25 employees in the U.S. So we do have the ability with a cancer, heart attack, stroke plan here to, do a list bill. As long as you have a minimum of 4 lives, you can do list bills. And so it's so there's a lot of opportunity here to talk about cancer, heart attack, stroke on its own. So we're going to spend some time here just kind of talking about the need here. We're not going to get into the product details quite yet, but I think it's important to talk, to kind of establish the need so that you and I have the information to know, if we need to utilize the information, we can just pull it out of a file out of our head and just let our clients know why it's so important to have. To me, cancer insurance, heart attack, stroke, and such is just as important as life insurance because I know a lot of you probably out there doing right now. You go out, you talk about some main health plan, maybe it mess up, maybe major medical of some sort, and then you're going to talk life insurance. The conversation's going to be, well, what happens when you die, right? That's what the life insurance conversation is, which is fine. But why don't we turn around that conversation and say, hey, look, you know what? What happens if you're going to live from a diagnosis of cancer, heart attack, stroke? Okay, that's a much more probably pleasant conversation to have with your particular client. Again, CHS is paid as a living benefit, so that's important because again, they're going to get diagnosed with something, they're going to survive. They need a living benefit so they can continue doing. The financial impact is really kind of crazy here. 36% of cancer patients deplete their savings. I mean, let's put this in perspective. If you know, we know, how America typically works, and most folks don't even have savings to begin with. So those folks that do have savings, if they're depleting it, that's a lot of folks that are depleting their savings there. That's a scary number right there. Or 24% of the folks borrow against a retirement plan. So does that mean that guy that, was planning on retiring at 65 now has to work to 75? Probably. So this is where we're going to talk about, this is where we're showing a cancer heart attack stroke plans that are going to be beneficial to your clients, because let's face it, 1 out of 2 men may develop cancer in their lifetime. The question always is, I always ask people when we're talking face to face, it's usually one-on-one, I'll say, is it me or you that's going to get diagnosed with cancer? That's how real that that possibility is. 1 in 3 women will develop cancer in their lifetime. 90% of cancers are from non-hereditary factors. I know we all probably thought that, okay, if cancer is in our family, it's going to happen. But 90% of them are non-hereditary. It's more, it could be environmental, it could be a number of different things. But that's a pretty strong number right there to have that conversation with clients too. I wanted to list a couple of the most common cancers that you see out there, that the American Cancer Society put out there for us, or the CDC. And, so those are what the most common cancers are these days here. But one of the things to know about cancer insurance is that there's 2 types of costs that are associated when you're talking about cancer. You're talking about direct costs, and those are the costs that, typically your major medical, your med sup, they're going to cover those. They're going to cover those treatment costs that are associated with it. But there's 53% of the cancer costs that are considered to be indirect. So so that's non-medical and direct costs. So think about it in this perspective. If my cost of cancer was $100,000, the question here is that $47,000 is going to be paid by probably your health plan, right? So the $53,000 of that amount is going to probably come from where? We talked about earlier, 36% deplete their savings, 24% deplete their retirement funds. Or there could be some other options that people are going to have to find to figure it out, right? So what are indirect costs in a couple different markets that we work in? Well, in the senior market, if you have Medicare supplement type of products, you're going to look at everybody that buys a Medicare supplement needs to buy a PDP. There's a copay associated with PDPs, and there's also a donut hole, right? So let's say your client's chemo drug hits their Part B and their donut hole. That's going to be over $4,000 that they're going to be having exposure to. So can that client, afford to take a financial hit of over $4,000? That'd be a great question to ask your client, right? Travel expenses to medical facilities. I know a lot of areas have really good medical facilities, but I promise you, when somebody gets diagnosed with cancer, they don't want to go to good. They want to go to the best. And if it's maybe going up to Rochester, Minnesota, or going down to Houston, Texas, where they have some great cancer benefit facilities there, they're gonna try to do that, right? And it's gonna cost, it costs quite a bit to actually do round trip tickets for 2 people to go down to the various treatments that are associated with, to get treated for cancer. Maybe your client might want to do an experimental alternative treatment. Those aren't covered by your traditional major medical or Medicare type products. Experimental alternative treatment, that comes out of the pocket of the insured. And also, there's a loss of income, okay? Many of times, folks that are, in the senior market, they're working part-time jobs just so that they can have, have a little more, some more niceties, right? Well, if your husband or wife that was, that was working and allowing that ability to have those niceties, can't work because of their diagnosis and getting treated, guess what? They're not going to have that extra dollars available to them. In the Medicare Advantage market, the biggest thing with the Medicare Advantage market is that there's an out-of-pocket exposure because of the MOOP. Your radiation chemotherapy copay is 20%, which gets applied to the maximum out-of-pocket. Anybody that's ever seen a diagnosis or talked to anybody about a diagnosis of cancer, what the costs are associated with cancer, it's not $5,000. It's going to be, $50, $60, $70, $80, $100,000. I mean, they're big numbers, guys. take 20% of any of those numbers, I promise you, you're going to hit your max out of pocket on the Medicare Advantage side, and all the other out-of-pocket exposures that are, that are there for Medicare sub-type clients are there also for the Medicare Advantage type folks too. But definitely taking care of the MOOP for in-network and out-of-network is definitely a big component here. In the underage market, I think we talked about it a little earlier. You're going to have deductibles, you're going to have co-payments with major medical type products, you're going to have loss of incomes. You're going to maybe want the alternatives, there's some options available, so having a cancer, heart attack, stroke plan is going to be able to provide those alternatives for the clients. Now, the great news about, cancer, heart attack, strokes and such, just in general, is that, survival rates are up. 30 years ago, if you were to, say, you're diagnosed with cancer, the question was, how long do I have? Typically, it wasn't okay, am I going to beat, how do I beat this? Back then, it was a little different story. Today, death rates from cancer are down 20%, which is awesome. We're going to be, by a few years from now, we're going to be increased by 31%. So we're doing great as a medical world, right? Our clients, our doctors have done a phenomenal job in helping folks live longer, even with a diagnosis of cancer. But as I've been saying throughout, cancer is not the only show in town. Heart attack and stroke as a standalone product is also just as serious and just as important for your clients. 2 in 3 men will develop cardiovascular disease at some point in their lifetime. 1 in 2 women. So so this kind of flip-flops here from cancer, that men had the 1 in 2 ratio. Now women have the 1 in 2 ratio for developing cardiac disease at some point. 85% of people who have a heart attack, they survive. So again, it's about survivorship. As we probably all can guess, that heart disease is the leading cause of death for both men and women. If you're looking at it from an economic standpoint, if you like those economic type things, it costs the United States $207 billion each year, because of heart attacks. Strokes. 795,000 people have a stroke in the U.S. each year. 77% are first-time occurrences, but 84% of people who have a stroke, they survive. This is the 5th leading cause of death in the U.S. From an economic standpoint, you're looking at $33 billion each year it costs the U.S. to be able to help treat folks that have strokes. So a lifetime cost can be $140,000 for a stroke. It could be or higher, or lower. It's an average number, but it's a lot of money that most folks can't afford to be able to take care of for themselves. So I think hopefully I've been able to kind of show you the picture and try to hopefully not scare you about this, but it is important, and it is something that, take some of this information. I wouldn't probably tell you to walk up to your client and say, hey, did you know you got 1 in 2 chance or anything like this, but you want to definitely know this information so that this way, you understand that as the agent that it is important to make sure we do talk to our clients about, having a policy like this for themselves. I think kind of one of the stuff that we kind of talk about with agents overall is that, when is it that you may have sit there and you talk about all the why you should be purchasing cancer, heart attack, stroke plans, and then you're going to get that client that's going to say, well, that's not going to happen to me, I'll think about it, and then we all know what happens. If they're not going to probably end up calling because that's something that goes out of their mind because it's not right in front of them. So when do you think their clients are going to start calling, start asking you, about a cancer, heart attack, stroke plan, right? Most likely after the event has occurred. And then at that point, I think we've all got a story that's, somebody's happened to. We say we can't help you because it's already occurred, right? So this is what, so let's make sure we just talk to the folks. At least we can say that, we gave you the chance, the opportunity to purchase the plan, and at least we've done what we're supposed to do, and we can feel at least somewhat okay with that from that perspective. But so let's not wait to a serious health event, but let's get into the actual talking about the plan itself, how it's designed, and and how it works and so forth, all the nuts and bolts of the plan. One of the first part of the plan that we're going to want to talk about is, where do people typically go for health information? That's right, Google. They'll type in there, whatever it is. Doesn't have to be cancer, doesn't have to be heart attack, stroke, anything. Whatever you type in anything in there, eventually part of the search is going to be, you know what, you're not going to survive. It's cancerous or whatever the case is. It's always the worst case scenario that comes up as a result for anything you put in there into Google from an answer perspective. So the way we're going to take care of that is that we're going to offer and we make available to the clients as part of purchasing a cancer, heart attack, stroke plan. We make available the Mayo Clinic. I think many of you have heard of the Mayo Clinic. They're world-renowned in the things that they've dealt with over their history. They've definitely been cutting edge in the treatment and solutions for folks. So we make this available to for your clients. And what we're making available to your clients is we're going to have available to them a 24-hour nurse line. And what this 24-hour nurse line is, it's for any kind of condition. It's not about cancer, heart attack, stroke. That's the beautiful thing about this. It's about, if they're not feeling well and they've got a fever and they're not, it hasn't broken, should they go to the doctor or should they try something else? They'll be able to get questions 24/7 answered by an actual nurse, registered nurse that's part of the Mayo world there. I know some, so you can use this for any kind of conditions at all. The same here with the Mayo Clinic online. You may have clients that don't want to talk to somebody and tell them what's going on. And all they would do is go online and they'd go through the screens that you see coming up here. They'll ask some very detailed questions about what's going on with them, and then they'll be able to provide them some information at the end based on the information that's provided by the client. Very simple, somewhat, it's private, so you don't have to talk to anybody, so it's another option for clients. But critical illness support, this is the reason why the Mayo Clinic is why it's a very, very great benefit here, because obviously we're talking about offering this to clients that purchase our cancer, heart attack, stroke plans. So now, as they get a diagnosis from their local physician, in their area, when they say, what's going on, and they can take that information that was provided by their local doctor, and they can contact the Mayo Clinic and get access to the specialists here, like people that have dealt with, the most crazy things that have happened out there, and they can get explanations about the actual results, or maybe maybe they might suggest get a second opinion. It might even provide a little guidance to where to go, what to do with treatment options. Or they might say, hey, there's a clinical trial or experimental thing going on at this hospital. You might want to contact you might want to kind of contact them. Probably the biggest thing is that being able to answer questions regarding meds, or maybe the meds, do they make sense for what that kind of cancer is? They might be able to help that client, be more active in their treatment and have smarter questions to be able to talk and speak with doctors about. So now what we're going to talk about, this is the actual base plan. We've got two components of a base plan that we can talk about. We can talk about the cancer-only policy, and that's all they're going to have protection for. Or you can do a heart attack and stroke-only policy. So again, two base plans under one product setup here. Or you could also do a cancer with a heart attack and stroke rider. Now, if your client is interested in doing and having cancer and also having heart attack stroke protection, having it done, adding on a heart attack stroke as a rider is going to be your best value for your client. Now, the way the benefits are going to work here is that you're going to be able to choose up to $75,000 if the clients are between the issue ages of 18 to 65. If their issue ages are from 66 to 90, the benefit amounts would be up to $50,000 of benefit. The coverages are going to be individual coverages. So, if you have a husband and wife scenario, you're going to have the husband buy one plan for themselves, and you're going to have the spouse, the wife, buy a plan for herself. They could add on a children as a rider on one of the two plans. Again, this is guaranteed renewable for life. So as long as the client's paying their monthly premium or annual premium, whatever the case may be, the policy will stay in force for as long as they're living. So we've talked about the coverage amounts. That's going to be dependent upon the issue ages there. The rate classes are going to be male, female. Notice there isn't any tobacco rating. It's just strictly going to be off of the male, female. And the children will be able to be issued from ages 0 to age 18. Also, part of the base plan, we're also offering an experimental benefit, which will pay an additional 25% benefit to your client if they were diagnosed with cancer, and then they were to try an experimental treatment. That's part of an FDA-approved scenario there, but that's got to be an FDA-approved experimental treatment, and they'll be able to get 25% additional of their lump sum amount. So the way the standalone cancer policy will work is that if you got an invasive cancer, you get 100% payout. So what does invasive mean? It means growth spreading cancer. The next component here is in situ cancer. The payout there would be a 25% lump sum benefit payout. So the in situ benefit does not, it does reduce the lump sum benefit by 25%. If you're wondering what cancer in situ is an early stage cancer, which is a cancerous growth or tumor, but has still confined the site from which it started and has not spread to surrounding tissue or organs in the body. Okay, so that's what cancer in situ is. That's what the legal, the formal document definition of that is. So how common is it, the diagnosis for cancer in situ? It's somewhere between 5 to 15% of diagnoses of cancer are cancer in situ diagnoses. The highest instance of diagnosis is middle-aged women, about 15%, and older men, about 10%. Most cases of in situ, there's no radiation or chemotherapy given after the tumor is removed. So just some couple little tidbits so that you know a little bit about what cancer in situ is. And then again, the 25% experimental cancer treatment payout does not reduce the future benefit payout. So that's your base plan right there. It's invasive cancer payout, in situ cancer, and 25% experimental cancer treatment. Now, from a standalone heart attack stroke perspective, if a client has a heart attack, they get 100% of their payout, stroke 100%, or they have a heart attack or stroke, then they'll get 100% on the strokes also. Child riders that's available, they can choose from $2,500 to $75,000 as long as it's less than or equal to the parent's amount of coverage. That's where they can go with cancer amounts. Heart attack and stroke benefits are available from $5,000 to $10,000 of benefit, and then their coverage as a child would end at the age of 25. Take a look at some sample premiums here. I know that's the base plan we talked about, so this is what the base plan would cost an insured. So if you had a 45-year-old male, $1,458 a month for $10,000 of benefit, or $1,375 if you're female. For those of you that are maybe in the senior market, your male at $10,000 would be $3,375. Female would be $2,625 a month. Now, if you wanted to do a higher benefit amount, as you can see, at the 45-year-old range, it'd be about $27 a month. Female, $25 a month. Now, keep in mind the draft modes that we're able to take care of on a monthly draft would be monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual. Direct bill modes are quarterly, semi-annual, annual. Let's take a look at what the heart attack stroke only premium would look like for your client. The $10,000 for 45-year-old male, $1,458, female, $1,208. If you're a 65-year-old, $3,058 for a $10,000 benefit, and a female, $2,625. Now, part of what makes this plan really, really great, and I mentioned earlier, more robust coverage, is that we've created some various riders that will be able to create some added benefit for your clients. On the cancer benefit builder side here, if you add this benefit builder rider to your cancer-based coverage, your client would get an increase of 25% of cancers that were diagnosed as late stage. So I know the most common types, I think we all probably are pretty familiar with that. If someone is diagnosed with cancer and they say it's stage 3 or 4, typically that means it's a late stage cancer. Various cancers will have various ratings to what's considered late stage, but but if someone had a late stage 3 or 4, they get their cancer payout plus 25% for the late stage. And if they tried experimental, they get that 25% for experimental also. So that's 50% benefit, for example, in just that example right there. How many lump sum cancer plans have you guys seen out in the world that have a skin cancer benefit for basal or squamous cell? But I can tell you, I've not seen one because every time I do a cancer presentation live, I always get that question from from agents asking, do you guys cover skin cancer, meaning basal cell, squamous cell? With this benefit builder, you can add on a $500 skin cancer benefit, which is payable 3 times in the lifetime of the rider, or one time per year. Okay. Increases coverage for cancer in situ. So on the base plan, we said 25% benefit for cancer in situ. By adding the benefit builder, you can increase that from 25%. You go to 50% benefit payout to that client. And then there's also $100 per year wellness benefit for an annual physical exam, not for about cancer or anything like that. Just a basic annual physical exam. The client would just submit a claim, they'll get $100 back for doing their wellness exam. Heart attack and stroke also does have a benefit builder option available, which that would provide an additional payout for transient ischemic attack or TIA. They would get 10% additional payout for that. Angioplasty, stent would get 10% additional for that. Bypass would be a 25% benefit. Valve replacement, 10%. Aortic surgery, 25%. Again, this is all part of the heart attack stroke benefit builder that you can choose to add on for your client's protection. Let's take a look at some sample premiums. The sample premiums here, I did it at age 65 for a $10,000 benefit and a $20,000 benefit. As you can see, the benefit builder at age 65 for $10,000 was $1,333 per month. And if I were to do some simple math on that, and let's say you take a $1,333 times that by 12, that would give me an annual premium of roughly around $160 a year for an annual premium. If you remember, the benefit builder provided a $100 wellness benefit. So that means that if they're going to get back $100 just for going for an annual exam, something that they would have done anyways. So now you take that $100 away from that. Now that would just give your client that they only paid $59.96, which would mean it'd be a really, really, really inexpensive benefit for your client to have, which would be about $5 a month, right? So something to consider in discussing a benefit builder with your client. Let's take a look at the heart attack stroke side. Really same, really inexpensive premium here. $10,000, it's $558 for a male, $275 for a female. Something that can definitely be of very easy to add on for your clients. Now, also as an option that you can add on to the cancer heart attack stroke plans here is that we have a recurrence benefit rider. If you're familiar with our Advantage Plus, we have this as an option for our lump sum cancer rider to add the recurrence benefit. This is we've had this also with our previous version of our cancer plan, the CHS Protection Plus. But basically, what this cancer recurrence rider does is that typically in the lump sum cancer world, you get diagnosed with cancer, you get a payout of $10,000, let's say, and then that policy goes away. By keeping the recurrence benefit rider, you can keep the base plan in force, and then if the client gets diagnosed with cancer, is deemed to be in remission, and then they're in remission for 5 years or longer, and then they get diagnosed with another covered cancer, their plan would have restored back to 100% of their full value that they had when they first took out the policy. If they were diagnosed after 4 years of remission, they would have 50% available to them. If it was 2 to 3 years that they had another diagnosis during remission, it'd be 25%. Then after 1 year, it would be 10%. So another very, very nice benefit for a client to have onto their coverage. We do have some return of premium options that are available. Return of premium options that are available are from ages 18 to 65. They can do a 20-year ROP, which would mean that at the end of 20 years, they would get their money. They can call up, get their money back minus any claims. If the ROP was issued between ages 66 to 70, they would have a 15-year ROP, or upon age reaching 85. We have a payable upon death before age 86 return of premium option, and then also we just have a straight payable upon death return of premium option. That you have 3 options you can choose from, depending on which one you feel more comfortable with. Also, we have an intensive care rider. This rider will pay daily benefits in amounts up to $600 per day should your client be in ICU for any reason. It's not about cancer, heart attack, stroke here. It's just for being in ICU in general. Benefits will reduce though when by 50% when the client reaches age 65. We also came out with this new kind of innovative rider here. I think it's a unique rider that's available. It's called the Critical Accident Rider. Two plan options are $5,000 and $10,000 plans, where if you had an accidental death, if your client had accidental death, that they would get, the beneficiary would get $5,000 or $10,000. But as you're talking about senior clients, you hear more about hip and skull fractures or dislocations, where you'll be able to choose, be able to get benefit amounts depending on the plan amount that was chosen. So every time that, anytime that the client had a hip or skull fracture, they can get $1,250, or if they have a $10,000 plan, $2,500. This is a very, very affordable and inexpensive rider to take a look at and add on to your client's protection. Also, we've developed a dental vision rider that clients can purchase, which annual benefit options are from $400, $800, or $1,200. The first year, the way this would work is that there's a 100-year deductible, and then there's 80% of actual charges. Keep in mind when I say 80% of actual charges, there's no network or usual customary scenario here that you have to worry about. It's whatever the dentist bill says is due. We'll do the $100 deductible, and then we'll reimburse the client up to 80%. But in the first year, it'd be up to 50% of the maximum benefit level that was chosen. In year two, after the $100 deductible, 80% of actual charges again, but the maximum benefit level available would be 100% of what their annual benefit amount was chosen. And a nice little, or a little tidbit about this year one, year two difference between the 50% and the 100% is that keep in mind that we say that this is a calendar year scenario here. So if your client bought the dental vision rider in November and they kept the policy in force, they got the policy in force, and then January 1st, the year changed over, so it's a new calendar year. So they'd only had the 50% of maximum benefit level caveat there for only 2 months, and then starting January 1st, they would have 100% of maximum benefit level available to them. Preventative care. I think most dental plans will have a preventative care. So you're looking at after a 3-month waiting period, up to 75% per calendar year. That's one. Okay, and then up to 50%, up to $50 for a basic eye exam or refraction per calendar year. Just keep in mind here that the $100 deductible is not applicable there. After a 6-month waiting period, your clients can go ahead and do the fillings and root canal treatment. That's where the $100 deductibles will start taking into effect. Or you got also a $200 for prescription eyewear or contacts. And then after 12 months, you can also then start get the protection for bridges, crowns, dentures, outpatient dental surgery, full mouth extraction, and so forth. The only time we're going to waive the 12-month waiting period is that if somebody already has bridges or dentures and they need to be repaired or replaced because of an injury. All right, so let's get into some underwriting details here. Underwriting details, it's a simplified yes/no question on the application. There is a height and weight chart that you want to make sure that your clients will be able to qualify from a height weight perspective. I would say it's a pretty generous height weight chart. It's not stringent whatsoever. The applicant is not eligible if there's a medication list. So so it's not an all-encompassing list. So it may change every so often here or there, but on that list is the more popular, more common drugs that are used for various conditions that would deem a client to be uninsurable at that point. And then additional underwriting requirements will be based upon age, coverage type, and coverage amount applied for. And that's what we're going to go through here next through a series of boxes and such. So if we had a standalone cancer policy and somebody wanted to purchase a less than $50,000 plan, they're up to 65 years old, there wouldn't be any additional underwriting that'd be needed. But if they wanted to purchase over $50,000 and above, then we would do an RX check and then also a PHI, which is a personal history interview. Now, if the insured was 66 to 90 and they wanted something less than $35,000 of benefit, there wouldn't be any additional underwriting other than what the health questions would be answered. But if they wanted over $35,000 and over, then we would again do an RX check and PHI. So if you did a cancer policy with the heart attack and stroke rider, at all amounts, right? So from age 0 to 65, we'll do an RX check, but no PHI. But if they wanted additional than 50,000, then we would do also would add on the PHI there. And if you had an older client at 66 to 90 issue ages, we would do the RX check, and then at 35 and above, we would also add the PHI at that point. And then for a standalone heart attack stroke policy, we will do an RX check for folks that wanted coverage less than 50,000, and if they wanted over 50, we'd add the PHI. And for those want a standalone heart attack stroke from 66 to 90 issue ages, we will do a RX check, and then again at 35 and above, 35,000 above, we'll also add the PHI there. Next, we'll take a look at our application. Pretty basic, simple application. You can again keep in mind you can do a husband and wife here on one application, but there'll be two separate policies that will be issued, so you don't have to have mirroring coverage for your client. So one client on the same application might have a cancer benefit, and the other one might have a heart attack stroke. You know, you can do anything. You can do something like that. But as you can see, it's a pretty simple process. On the second page is where you'll tell us what is it that you quoted them and what the premium was that's quoted for your client on a monthly or annual basis. And then right here is our health questions. And on the cancer side, it's the last 5 years is what the basic questions that we ask. Always remember to answer the replacement questions. That's right before the agent statement. No matter what state you're in, keep in mind if you're whatever state you're in, make sure you're using your state appropriate forms, and then also make sure that you sign it and put your agent number on there. And then also, if you're doing a husband and wife, make sure each applicant signs their appropriate space there for to obtain their coverage. Now, once you sell a plan, at some point, we know it's going to happen. Hopefully not, but if it does happen, there's going to be a claim. Very simple process to complete a claim. The first page you'll see there is a checklist of just to make sure that the clients, provide us with the complete information that we would need to be able to process their claim quickly and accurately. It's just really, as you can see here, it's a 4-pager. One of the pages actually is a HIPAA form that we would need completed. So again, very simple. And if you're not familiar with GTL, or those of you that are familiar with GTL, you probably know that we just recently came out with a new e-application platform. And those of you that are not familiar with GTL, we do have a really, really nice e-app process that you'll have access to once you do get contracted through MAS. But very easy to access our e-platform. If you like using the website, you just go to gtlic.com, then log in where it says GTL Agent Login. If it's your first time using the platform, you want to make sure you set up your own username and password. Just click on register, and it'll take you through that process there. Some of the highlights regarding the e-process is that the platform will work on Apple, Android, Mac, PC. So pretty much anything that we're using as computers these days, so our Android phones, iPhones, tablets, and such will be available. You can definitely use this platform. We don't need to be online to complete an application, but you would need to be online to submit it. It is built for cross-selling. Like at the beginning, I showed you a number of different products that GTL does have available. You'd be able to quote all those products, most of those products all at one time. You wouldn't have to be going generating separate quotes for jumping from screen to screen, back and forth and so forth. It's going to be right there, very easy to follow, very easy to be able to have a full product discussion with your client. Most of our products that we have that we offer here at GTL are simplified issue products. So it's going to definitely be a quick issue for your clients, and then we also do an e-delivery, for your client there. Now, what does this take? Now, what does the platform look like a little bit here? This is just kind of a couple snapshots here. So this is what the first initial screen would look like when you're wanting to log in. If it's your first time logging in using the system, just make sure you use the second blue button there at the bottom. If you're a mobile user, just go to the App Store or go to Google Play and type in GTL eApp. Make sure you see that color logo of GTL when your search results come back. Then you know you got the right app to be able to download. And then once you log in, as I said, if it's your first time, click on the register button. If you've already done the registration and you created username and password, just input it here, username and password, and then log in, and then you'll be able to, they'll take you into the system where they'll take you into the quoting tool and be able to start your quoting process here. You can quote your applicant 1, the applicant 2 at the same time. So as you follow the prompts here, it should be very simple and easy to be able to talk to your clients and get quotes for them. One of the neat things about our e-process here is that if you're using a mobile application, you can obtain the signature of the client while you're there in front of them. All they need to do is use a stylus or their finger, and they can sign their name, and then you can keep on going to the next screens to complete the application. Now, if you're using our web process will we do require, if you're using our web process, do a third-party voice verification call. That's really going to be the only difference between the mobile applications and the web application, is that for an application we would do a third-party verification call, which you can schedule or you can do at the time of application, just conference on your client, and then you let them complete that 2.5 to 3 minute phone call, and then you can and then once that call is completed, then you know everything's completed and you can submit the application for processing. So it doesn't really matter if we're if you're a paper person or if you're a mobile person or if you're a web person, whatever the case may be. I think we've done a great job of being able to provide you with any option or any way that you're comfortable in being able to take applications and discuss product with your clients. So with that being said, we're here to help. We're a back office to MAS. Anything you may need help with, we'll be happy to help you with. You can contact our sales support area at 800-323-6907. Or if you want to get contracting and additional support, obviously you can definitely contact MAS at 800-480-9857. They'll do a great job for you. They know these products as well as I do. We talk about it all the time. That's part of what it's part of what we do here. And if you want to contact them on the web, you can contact them. You can look at what they have to offer at medadvspc.com. I appreciate your time. Thank you for signing in and listening. And hopefully a lot of this made a lot of sense for you. And this is something that could give you some opportunity to go back and talk to your clients and help generate some additional business for yourself, but also create clients now by adding more than just having one product with you for them. So with that, thank you, Shanna, for setting this up, and I'm sure we'll go through some questions.
Well, it looks like you've done such a great job there. There's no questions at this time. I would like to give you an opportunity, if you do have some, to go ahead and put those in the toolbar, in the chat toolbar. We will be hosting another webinar next Monday. Dimitri will be sharing with you product information over the Advantage Plus product. And we have a lot of agents who have had great success over the years representing that product, adding it to their portfolio, especially if they're in the Medicare Advantage market. So that webinar will be next Monday, same time, 9:30. So we would invite you to attend that as well. If you have any questions about any of the information that we shared about MAS, the LEAD programs, the Turning 65 platform, anything at all, then we would invite you to ask, or we would love to share that information with you. Everyone who's attended the webinar today, one of our team members will outreach to you just to follow up to make sure that you don't have any questions if you aren't able to ask, or just kind of follow up and just see what your needs are if you're not contracted, to help you go ahead and get through that process. So they will be outreaching to you today. We did record the webinar, so it will be on our website. It should be there by this afternoon. So if you at any point need to revisit the presentation, then that will certainly be available for you. So with that being said, let me just check one more time. I don't see any questions. So I guess, Dimitri, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be with us today. And then I would like to thank everyone who attended for attending as well. And again, we look forward to working with you and helping you grow your business. So thanks so much, and everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.